What's poppin', beautiful people up in YouTube land? I put the 3 and G value, feel me? And this vid right here, 7 wrestlers WCW gave up on. Now, I could think, who I think they gave up on? Would Chris Jericho fall into that category? He might, because they didn't really push him the way they should have. Or like Eddie. Or like Ray, because they was all like considered cruiserweights, but let's check it out.
At the height of their self-indulgence in the late 90s, WCW had something like 700,000 wrestlers on the roster. And that's without counting loanies from Japan and those sent on excursions
Me and my friends
in
used to
the
play
opposite
shit.
direction.
Me and my boy and his brothers play that shit all day, bro. Spend the night. We playing that shit non-stop on the N64.
So it's only natural that not everybody could be pushed to the top of the card. In fact, the fat contracts and creative control of an elite black and white cartel almost guaranteed that all but about 5 or 6 veterans made it to the table in the first place. That's not to say that WCW didn't try to make new stars, it's just that when they did, they usually fell foul of the Hogan test. WCW did turn the boat around on a handful of potential new draws in the pre-NWO era, but nearly all of them were owing to a yellow and red invention. After
Hogan
the
needs to get me
NWO
tight
emerged,
with that, bro.
routes to the top were like that smelly Gandalf bridge in Lord of the Rings. Mid-Carter, you shall not pass! I mean, they can't have been serious about Berlin in the first place, right? I'm Andy for WhatCulture Wrestling, and here are 7 wrestlers that WCW gave up on. Number 7, The Renegade. WCW were so convinced of signing the Ultimate Warrior in 1995 that they started hyping his debut at Uncensored, calling it the Ultimate Surprise. Problem was that they didn't actually get Warrior to sign. Not that that mattered, though. The company kept promoting him anyway, until we hit the pay-per-view, the music hit, and a dollar store Warrior ran out from the back. The Renegade came out in a dodgy Jimmy Hart version of Warrior's theme, and he was clad in some slightly off face paint.
Yeah.
Now, Renegade looked a
WCW. What y'all doing, bro? What y'all doing?
Like Warrior if you squinted. He moved like him too, and he was even pushed like him as well. But this wasn't Warrior. WCW fans pooped all over it. When the actual Warrior contacted the media to dispel any suggestions that this smaller, crappier copy was actually him, the game was up. Their scheme exposed, WCW took the television title off the Renegade and shoved him down the card. Number 6, The Demon. WCW gave up on the Kiss Demon the moment they were no longer contractually obliged to feature it. This was a product of Eric.
So WCW was really on a shit at one point, bro. Like everything that was, I was gonna say social media. It's no social media back then. Anything that was in the media, bro, they was pushing, bro. They was pushing crazy.
Self-indulgence. The Demon showed up in 1999 and was part of a deal that saw Gene Simmons and his aging band of rockers slaughter a segment of Nitro, with the Demon guaranteed a pay-per-view main event for the use of Simmons' likeness, with a number of other Demons representing the other band members supposed to show up as well. The Warriors of Kiss project was canned alongside Bischoff, who may be the only man in the world who liked the idea. When the Kiss concert drew one of the worst ratings in Nitro history, Eazy-E was dismissed before the Demon could even make his in-ring debut. But WCW still had a deal to honour, and so he was flung into a special main event, quote-unquote, against the Wall at Super Brawl, where he was soundly defeated. Number 5, Berlin. This was WCW's attempt at repackaging Alex Wright as a Europunk, and they were so convinced it would be a successful move that they locked him into a preposterous contract worth $375,000 a year in 1999, despite the fact that Wright, while talented, had done the square root of nothing in WCW up to that point. The promotion was always going to go all in on Berlin after that bumper new contract, so they did. His debut promo, however, was something else. Gene Okerlund squirmed in his shoes as the German delivered one line after another in his native tongue, and every single one of them was translated by an interpreter, Uta Ludendorff, a woman with the acting skills of David Hasselhoff. The awful, awkward segment met the derision of fans, and when WCW realised just how close a resemblance their new character bore to the perpetrators of the tragic Columbine massacre, Berlin was burr-binned. He was back by September, but WCW were no longer interested. In his first major program, Buff Bagwell refused to lose, and replacement Jim Duggan refused to sell. WCW eventually decided that the Wall of "That's the Wall, brother" fame had more upside than right, and that meant it was Iron Curtains for Berlin. Number 4, Chris Jericho.
See, I was gonna say Chris Jericho. I was like, bro, they didn't use that nigga the right way they supposed to do. So he came to WWE, nigga, star. He was a bro. Chris Jericho, bro, he still star to this day. My nigga is like 50 years old, bro, or damn near, bro. Nigga still creating, being charismatic, bro. El Champion.
Jericho was caught in Bischoff's talent dragnet in 1996, as the WCW honcho looked to saturate Nitro with great technical wrestlers.
That was skinny Jericho.
Unfortunately, this policy clashed with the star-studded scene at the top of the card, meaning that Eric's vanilla midgets were restricted to the undercard. Lost in the shuffle was Lionheart Chris Jericho, a generic babyface with less colour than a Humphrey Bogart noir film. Bischoff reckoned Jericho could be the new Sting, but his retrograde character had already been made passé. Going heel was the only solution, and in taking matters into his own hands, WCW...
When he went heel in WCW, that shit was fire. When he did that when he was talking about all the moves...
Well, they lost all interest in Jericho's push. This was despite Jericho becoming the most entertaining part of Nitro, as he was given 15 minutes every single week to pretty much just do whatever the hell he wanted. Over time, he became dangerously over, and as soon as he started tapping on the ceiling by challenging Goldberg, WCW noticed. But Goldberg, well, he refused to answer the call, and Jericho was admonished for his rudeness. From there, the writing was on the wall for him in Georgia. Number 3, Conan.
They used him terribly too, Conan.
He was part of the same talent drive that brought Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, and Dean Malenko through the door as well. Only he was originally slated to play with the biggest boy of them all, Hulk Hogan. That's according to Conan himself anyway. The story goes that Booker Kevin Sullivan had promised him several matches with Hogan in the US and Mexico, hence why the two of them posed for an unlikely belt-tugging promo shot early on. Unfortunately, though, it never transpired. Conan speculated that as soon as WCW found out he could only work the Mexican style, they lost interest. Though he still entered the company with a bang, winning the US title in his first week. It just wasn't quite as loud a bang as he would have wanted. Number 2, Bret Hart.
Oh yeah,
was the most talked about talent in town after the Montreal Screwjob. But despite being handed the biggest pink and black gift horse in the world, WCW didn't seem all that arsed about pushing their red-hot commodity. Hart's first port of call in Georgia was as a referee, calling the shots barely as Sting wrestled Hulk Hogan at Starrcade 97. He immediately felt secondary, and that was hardly helped by the underwhelming match itself. And while WCW did try to position Hart more appropriately after that, it felt half-assed. That's because it was. For as long as the Hitman was in the main event picture, he was always flanked by the old guard, made to look prominent but never essential, even as WCW
he looked not
champion.
interesting
WCW
either.
eventually let Hart go when a concussion suffered at the boot of Goldberg ended his in-ring career. He left with barely a whimper. Such was the damage that WCW had done to his stock. And number 1, Steve Austin.
Oh wow! How did I forget about Steve Austin? Yeah, bro. Bro. Didn't ECW just sign him just to talk his shit, bro? They was like, yo, we just love you. You just talk his shit. Then right after that, they went to WWE. It was over. It was over. They lost his head.
The same heights as his industry-defining run as Stone Cold It's something of a misconception
blood,
that WCW never got behind Steve Austin. Stunning Steve was the most talented component of the early 90s most threatening stable, the Dangerous Alliance, who regularly pushed into the main event scene. And when he left the stable, Austin's stock stayed high as well, teaming with Brian Pillman to enjoy high-profile matches with the likes of Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. When he returned from injury in 1995...
So that's crazy, bro. Stone Cold with hair, bro. Oh my god.
Austin found
pretty
any
boy.
renewed push blocked by a Bischoff
my mom is obsessed with Stone Cold, bro. She loves him. Like, son, like, bro. She oh my god, like she's like, oh, Stone Cold. He's a little kid, like, oh. But he was like, that. He wanted to do it. I couldn't even do it. I didn't do this.
Like, a bit of a pain in the arse. His walking papers were soon served, and, well, you already know what happened after that. So that's our list, but what do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments.
Nah, they bodied that. Yo, I definitely forgot Stone Cold was there, bro. Son, that's how you know, son. Niggas misused him terribly, bro. Because, like, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. When I started watching WCWs, when the ratings war started, bro. So, like, all that pre stuff or whatever, like, I wasn't really, like, into it, bro. Once I started seeing, like WWE, WWF at the time, they was making references towards it. I was like, no, I gotta start tuning in. So I was turning back and forth. So, bro, I was pretty late to the party with WCW, bro. And it's till now, like, when I start going back and start seeing classic matches and all that on, like, WWE Network and all that. But yeah, bro, nah, they body this. But it's your boy G up and out of here. Peace.